Greetings, fellow detectives. Wizard Kitten here, bringing you part 1 in our walkthrough for Nancy Drew Tomb of the Lost Queen, the 26th mystery in the Nancy Drew series. I'm really excited to start this walkthrough because we're now pretty firmly planted in the modern era of Nancy Drew games, which have a very distinct feel, and they're definitely the ones that I've played the least just because they're the newest. So they always bring a really fresh perspective, and I am really excited to start off with this one. So now that I've rambled a little bit, let's go ahead and get started with a new game. Also, this is a new menu, so this is the new interface that they switched to for Tomb of the Lost Queen and all of the later games. So you can look at extras and then like more Nancy Drew games. You can look at little I guess advertisements for each of the previous games, which I love. It makes me feel so nostalgic. So cool interface. I'm definitely a fan of it. New game. They updated this a little bit. We're going to do Master Sleuth, which is a little bit more challenging, and you don't get any hints and a very basic task list.
60 years ago, a violent sandstorm uncovered an ancient tomb in the desert outside Cairo. A British expedition set off in hope of finally finding Egypt's legendary lost queen. The expedition never returned. The explorers were lost, presumed dead. For 60 years, the grisly tale of the cursed team remained the only proof of the tomb's existence. John, are you okay?
Somebody call Cairo! Call a doctor!
Don't move. Help is on the way.
Oh no.
Nancy, what have I missed?
A lot, actually. The crew left after the storm. They kept talking about the old team that disappeared, and then they were gone. Oh, who cares? I'm just glad you're okay.
About that...
What?
The docs here say there's reason to believe I was attacked. Nancy, you're the only one I can trust now. I need you to be my eyes and ears until I can get out of here.
But I just came here to job shadow you. Are you sure? Will you be coming back?
As soon as they release me. Until then, keep me updated on what you're seeing. I've got some notes in my bunk area. Get caught up to speed. Keep everything you find between you and me. The less you seem to know, the safer you'll be.
Got it. I'll see if I can prove whose tomb this is and find out who attacked you. I'd better get going.
Catch you later.
Okay, so that was a lot happening all at once, but basically it seems like Nancy is in Egypt shadowing this John Boyle guy who got attacked in a dust and or lightning storm for some reason, which we need to apparently figure out why. Lots going on. Okay, so here's Nancy's phone. We've got our phone and camera. Right now we have a background from The Captive Curse, Castle Courtyard. Messy prop room. So this is from Lights, Cameras, Curses, which is one of the dossier games. We will play those eventually. King's Statue, I think, is probably also from that game. Classic Inventions, this is from Alexi's shop in Alibi and Ashes. Ryokan, this is from Shadow at the Water's Edge. And then the Curio shop, this is from Legend of the Crystal Skull. So let's see, which background do we like? I mean, we could do something very Egyptian since we are in Egypt. The Ryokan background is kind of pretty. Messy prop room. You know, I kind of like this king statue since we're in Egypt. Cuckoo. An elephant, synth. It's really quiet. Oh, that's the news theme from the River Heights 9 news team. Huh. From Alibi and Ashes. Those are the sheep noises from Hunting of Castle Malloy, which I kind of love. Can we do sheep? I want the sheep. I don't know why. I just do. Okay, so this looks like our tent. What do we have? Can we snoop through anything here? Everything is totally different. So we've got the new magnifying glass. Oh, hello.
Nancy, you decided to stay?
Of course.
Good. We need all the help we can get. Look, this is awkward.
What's that?
Professor Boyle is gone, and I have to say this to keep things from getting awkward, but look, I'm assuming the authority in the time being.
Are you sure everyone here agrees to that?
I just meant the American team, which is just you.
I can take care of myself.
I'm sure you can, but can you take care of a site that's thousands of years old? I'll answer that for you. No, you cannot.
Is that necessary? Do we really need someone in charge?
Yes, it is, but it shouldn't affect you all that much. I'm not going to go on a power trip or anything crazy. Trust me. I just don't want the site to fall into chaos. I'm working entirely out of Professor Boyle's playbook.
Did you see what happened to Professor Boyle?
I couldn't see a thing. I couldn't keep my eyes open for a second.
Did you know Professor Boyle was attacked? At least that's what the doctors think.
Who told you that?
He did.
Don't worry. He's probably just all turned around from the injury. There's nothing to worry about here.
I'd better get going.
Later.
You're an interesting person, aren't you, Lily? That's Lily Crewe, who apparently is assuming authority. This must be John's stuff.
You cannot go back there.
I'm looking for Professor Boyle's notes.
His notes are off limits.
He wants me to have them. Call him if you don't believe me.
I will. Trust me.
Bye.
See ya!
You gonna let me go get him now? Give him a call. Okay, what do we got in here? Beach Hill Museum. Oh my gosh, flashback all the way back to Secret of the Scarlet Hand, mystery number 6. Dear John, I heard at the recent Paris and Williams Archaeological Gala that you are still looking for the perfect applicant to round out your team for your upcoming dig in Egypt. I am writing to recommend Nancy Drew as a candidate for consideration. Nancy worked for us as a deputy curator at Beach Hill Museum, where her observational skills and attention to detail provided an invaluable contribution to the successful opening of our exhibition, Finding the Maya, A Lost Civilization Speaks. I am confident that you would be as pleased with Nancy's work as we were. Her deductive reasoning, perseverance, and intelligence are an ideal match for your team's search for answers in the desert. Feel free to contact me with any questions you may have about Nancy's exceptional talents. Regards, Franklin Rose. That's so funny. That case from way back gives us this case. What's this? A lighter. Okay, we'll take that. And then this Glow It toothpaste, I think, is the same toothpaste from maybe what's it called? The Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake, the glowing toothpaste. And then this says Ma and Pa's, which is probably a reference to Ma and Pa's from Trail of the Twister. So that's cool. What else can we look at? His notebook. And as a result, the same phrase can often be represented with different hieroglyphs. Take the name, oh my, Pareherwinemef. Indicates royal son always at end of name. For royal daughter. Pareherwinemef. Re is with his strong arm. But his brother uses, which also translates to with his strong arm, or possibly with his right arm, could be open to interpretation. Even the god Ra, aka Re, can be represented by any of these. That'll be helpful if we need to translate some hieroglyphs. No wonder some of these hieroglyphs aren't making any sense. There are numerous locations where the whole phrases are undecipherable. They all seem to be marked by the same unique symbol. Could it be the builders of this tomb created their own language? I think I may be starting to break the code. Regardless, the hieroglyphs around the tomb are giving a strong indication of a royal female presence. Could it be the lost queen? The partial inscription decoded from the piece removed from the main room certainly seems to say it is.
Part of John's notes are missing. That doesn't seem right.
The tomb within, sealed behind her titles. Acknowledge them fully with no gaps from left to right, and it shall be opened according thereto. Let it be. I must track down the rest of the inscription. If I can find that, I'll be on the path to the greatest discovery since Tutankhamun. Another big clue deciphered, and then it's cut off. Very interesting. Can we look in this bag? That seems like a missed opportunity. I want to look in his bag, Nancy. Okay, so we got John's stuff. If we go straight ahead, there's this game. I'm going to wait to look at that for a second, though. So I think this might be Nancy's bunk. We have some pictures.
Great! I could use this to translate the hieroglyphs.
Cool. So we get some hieroglyph translation books. That's going to be helpful. A Cocoa Kringle. Always good. How to read Egyptian hieroglyphs. Egyptian hieroglyphs are one of the oldest writing systems in the world, dating back to before 3000 BC. Hieroglyphs, which means sacred inscriptions in Greek, were used mainly for inscriptions in temples and tombs. There are three basic groups of signs: phonograms, ideograms, and determinatives. Phonograms, or sound signs, are signs that represent a sound, like the letters in the English alphabet. Unlike our modern alphabet, an individual phonogram could also represent 2 or 3 sounds. Single sound signs are known as uniliterals. 2 sound signs, such as PR, are biliteral, and 3 sound signs, such as WSR, are triliterals. Ideograms, or sense signs, represent the actual object depicted. They were generally drawn with a single stroke sign beneath them, indicating that they were to be read as an ideogram and not a phonogram. Determinatives, or labeling signs, are ideograms that appear at the end of a word to give an indication of its general meaning. The hieroglyph depicting 2 feet is frequently seen as determinative to indicate movement or walking. Translating hieroglyph sounds into script is known as transliteration. When translating, it is important to know that ancient Egyptians did not write vowels. Okay, so we have these equivalents of how to read Egyptian hieroglyphs. So again, when we need to translate, this could come in handy. This allowed for signs to represent a variety of words, and is why names and places can be written differently depending on the translator. For example, Tawret, Taweret, and Tawaret all refer to the goddess Taweret. The tables show the uniliteral alphabet with transliterated hieroglyphs and the English equivalent. Hieroglyphs were written horizontally or vertically and could be read from left to right or right to left. To determine the direction in which to read, look at the hieroglyphs of living creatures. If they are facing to the left, then read from left to right. If they are facing right, then read the hieroglyphs from right to left. That's an important note. Signs could also be stacked together for aesthetic or practical reasons. In that case, always read the sign above first and the sign below second before moving on to the next sign. Ancient Egyptian is a dead language, unused since the 4th century AD. It remained a mystery until 1822 when scholar Jean-François Champollion announced that he had deciphered the hieroglyphs on the Rosetta Stone. Building upon his discovery, scholars continued to decode the ancient language. Today, hieroglyphs can be read in their entirety. Even though we are able to read hieroglyphs, it remains unknown how the language should sound when spoken. Yeah, I suppose that would make sense. Interesting. Okay, so that gave us some helpful tips from when we are reading The Lost Queens of Egypt by Professor Beatrice Hotchkiss. What? Professor Hotchkiss, of course, was in Treasure in the Royal Tower and then made a cameo appearance as a phone friend in Legend of the Crystal Skull, and now she's back. Dear Mandy, my name's Nancy Beatrice. You were so keen on my book about Marie Antoinette, another reference to Treasure in the Royal Tower. I knew you'd enjoy my latest work about these magnificent women. If you'd ever like to learn more, I do love to talk about them. And then she gave us her phone number, which is super helpful. The Lost Queens of Egypt, Hatshepsut. New Kingdom. Hatshepsut was one of the most important female figures in ancient Egypt. She helped her husband Thutmose II rule Egypt. Upon the death of Thutmose II, and with the heir Thutmose III only 9 years old, Hatshepsut stepped in as regent and soon declared herself pharaoh of Egypt. For nearly 20 years she ruled alone as the pharaoh, even adopting the traditional male garb of rulers, including the false beard. Her rule was one of peace and prosperity. After her mysterious death, Thutmose III spent years removing Hatshepsut's name and image from the records. Her mummy disappeared for millennia and has only recently been identified as possibly being the female mummy from KV60. Sketchy. I apologize if I'm saying any of these names wrong. If you know how they are supposed to be said, please feel free to leave that in the comments down below. The great royal wife of Amenhotep III, Queen Tai, was praised for her beauty. Amenhotep created scarabs commemorating their marriage in her honor. She is one of the few queens in all of Egypt who had a temple devoted to her during her lifetime. While she held great power during her lifetime and was frequently depicted sitting beside her husband as an equal, it was her son Amenhotep IV who provided her greatest legacy. Shortly after his ascension to the throne, he changed his name to Akhenaten and introduced a shocking change: monotheistic religion. Tai continued as a royal advisor during her son's reign until her death. The elder woman mummy from KV35 is believed, but not conclusively confirmed, to be that of Queen Tai. Nefertiti. Immortalized in one of the most famous pieces of Egyptian art, the bust of Nefertiti remains a standard for beauty today and a lasting legacy of one of the most powerful queens of ancient Egypt. Her name means the beautiful one is come. Ruling alongside her husband, Pharaoh Akhenaten, she ushered in a one-god religion worshipping the sun disk god Aten. Nefertiti played an unprecedented role in the new religion and was depicted as the feminine aspect of the god. She was also the stepmother of Tutankhamun, the boy king. After the 14th year of Akhenaten's rule, no more mention of Nefertiti is made. What happened to her is unknown, though various theories for her disappearance exist. These include an early death, natural or not, to changing her name to Smenkare and ruling briefly as a man after Akhenaten's death. Her mummy has never been found. Nefertari. Nefertari, not to be confused with Nefertiti, was the favored wife of the great pharaoh Ramses II. During his long reign, Ramses had many principal wives, but Nefertari was his first and best-loved queen. She and Queen Tiye were the only queens to be deified while they were still alive. The small temple at Abu Simbel was built to honor her and the goddess Hathor. The statues of Nefertari on the temple's facade are the same height as those of Ramses, indicating her high status. Ramses also built her a tomb in the Valley of the Queens. This tomb is one of the best preserved today, and the vivid colors of the paintings within still grace the walls. When the tomb was rediscovered in 1904, it was found to have already been visited by tomb raiders. Of the items originally placed within to accompany Nefertari in the afterlife, only a portion of a mummy and a few broken pieces remained. Interesting. Cleopatra. The last ruling pharaoh of ancient Egypt was not only a woman, but also one of the most famous names in history, Cleopatra. Born of the Macedonian Ptolemy line, Cleopatra VII was 17 when she gained the throne. Well known for her intelligence, she was the only Ptolemaic pharaoh to speak Egyptian. Cleopatra did not sit idly by when she was overthrown by her younger brother. Her rise back to power is legendary, from smuggling herself into Julius Caesar's presence wrapped in a rug to her suicide after Mark Antony's death. Upon her death, her body was to be buried with Mark Antony's. Her tomb has not been conclusively found. Okay, some interesting information on all of these Egyptian queens. And it looks like we can't look in our suitcase. Again, I feel like that would be helpful. Anything in here? Nothing in this one. Anything in here? Ooh, lots of things.
Stay out of there!
Okay, apparently we're not allowed to go into this one. She's very adamant about that. Okay, now let's check out this game. This is Senet.
This game looks cool. Can we play?
Yes. The goal is to get all of your pieces off the board first. When a token reaches the last square, it's removed from the board. To move, throw the sticks. The number of light sticks determines how many spaces you move. If all 4 sticks are dark, then you get to move 5 squares.
I threw a 2. Well, what does that mean?
You can move any of your tokens to either an empty square or a square occupied by your opponent.
So...
If you throw a 1, 4, or 5, move a token and then throw the sticks again. If no moves are available, the player skips their turn. I've rolled a 3, so I'll move my token 3 spaces. If you land on an opponent, you swap places, sending your opponent's token back to your token starting position. If an opponent has 2 or more tokens in adjacent squares, then they've created a block. You can't swap places with a token in a block, but you can move over it. There are 5 special squares on the board, each with their own name and design. The square with the ankh is a safe square, and the token on this square can't be swapped. All tokens must stop on the square with the bird, even if the throw would have moved them past it. They can move past it on their next turn. Landing on the square with the water sends that token back to the square with the ankh. The last 2 are safe squares, so tokens can't be swapped. Let's start a game. You can go first.
This does sound fun. Okay, so I get to move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's move this one. And then I get to go again, so I move... Do I move 3 or 1? I think I move 3. 1, 2, 3.
No fair!
I think it's fair. Okay, 3. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Can't do that.
Why not? Oh, because I only rolled 1. Haha. Okay, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get one on a safe space. Okay. 3 or 1? There we go. Okay, 3. So it's the light squares that you count. 5 again. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 3. Let's see.
Can't do that.
1, 2, 3. Why can't I do that?
Walk it off, Drew. Hey!
Hey, indeed. Get to move 2. Okay, I get to move 3, it looks like. Two. Just trying to focus on how to beat her. 1, 2, 3. How come she keeps getting 1s? That's not fair. Stop getting 1s. Okay, my turn. I would have to stop on the bird anyway. And then that would send me back, so I don't want to do that.
Can't do that.
I can't? Okay, I guess I'll do that then. And then 2. I'll move that on a safe space. Okay. That's also on a safe space. 1, 2, 3. Get that off the board. Okay, move it 2. Move it 2. 2s are hard, because then you can move, but then you can't really do much else. 2s are not terribly helpful. 1.
Look out!
And 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's maybe move, let's see, that one. She's gonna get a bunch of 1s again and cheat? Yeah, she is. See? Told ya. This game is out to get me. Just giving her all the options. You can just keep moving that one forward and forward as far as she wants. Not fair. Not cool, game. Okay, let's see. Let's go 1. And then maybe 1, 2. Okay. 1. 1, 2. 1. 1.
Look out!
3. I'll have to stop on the bird anyway. So I guess I might as well do that. 2. Okay, I'll stand on this safe space. 1. Let's move this one. 1. And then 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now she's on 2 safe spaces. Cool. 1, 2, 3. I will win, Lily. I will get you. And your little dog, too, even though you don't have one. Maybe she has a dog, I don't know. I guess I'm assuming that she doesn't have a dog, but maybe she does. I don't know about Lily's life. I just met Lily. Okay, 2. Put that on a safe spot. Ooh, she got a 4. That's not helpful. And a 1. And a 2. Yeah, 2s are not terribly helpful. A 5. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2. Oh, she took the onk. Three. You can get this one off the board. Okay, she's on a safe spot. I'm gonna take the bird. Okay, I'll take the safe spot. 5. That's a good one. Get that off the board. Now we only have one more. We can do this. She has 3 more and I only have 1 more. Two, 3. She could also just get better rolls than me, though. Oh, gosh. See, and here I was thinking I was ahead, but apparently not. Okay, that was a pretty good roll, though. And so was that. Oh, no! No! Don't get something good. You're not allowed to get something good. Okay, phew, I won.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha, Lily. Cool. All right, well, that is the tent. And I think I'm going to leave this part right here. Thank you so much for watching, fellow detectives. I will see you soon.